let's take a look at our top selections for Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Third time's the charm, we hope, for the Grade 3 Southwest Stakes. Weather has wreaked havoc at Oaklawn Park. The Southwest has been rescheduled now for the third time. Let's take a look at the field. In my opinion, we had the two best two-year-olds in 2020, and they're going to tangle right away in this prep race. Of course, the two-year-old champion and Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner, the number one Essential Quality, and the extremely fast and talented multiple Grade 1 winner, the 4, Jackie's Warrior. This is going to be an interesting battle, and it might come down to pace.
Yeah, true enough. It's certainly the only time they met last year, Dan. It certainly came down to pace that day. That was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at Keeneland. It felt like Jackie's Warrior took the worst of it there. He still has to prove he wants to go this far, but it might be a totally different pace scenario here.
Jackie's Warrior was trying 2 turns for the first time in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He pushed a very fast pace. He buried the other pace horses, and Essential Quality and the closers got him late. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Totally different scenario according to Timeform US. They have Jackie's Warrior on the lead in a blue bar situation, which favors horses on or near the early lead. Now, I don't know if Jackie's Warrior wants to go a mile and a 16th, but the Jackie's Warrior that dominated the hopeful in the Champagne, if he gets loose like this, he's going to be real tough to catch.
Yeah, 100%. He's really supposed to be. And again, you're right, Dan, that, perhaps the 2 turns going 8.5 furlongs will really get to this horse, and he just doesn't want to go this far. But man, it just feels like he's as loose as he wants to be here. And I'm sure Rosario's thinking the same thing.
But we'll start with the champ, Essential Quality, who's a horse that can stay closer to the pace if the pace isn't fast. He showed that in the Breeders' Futurity, his final prep before this race, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. But boy, he benefited from the fast pace in the Juvenile. We're going to see Essential Quality. He is on the outside here, and this pace is just falling apart at the end. And he's going to be making his run. He's eventually going to go past Jackie's Warrior, who's tiring right now in the green cap. Good performance for Essential Quality. I think he is a very good colt with a lot of upside. It'll be interesting to see how this weather delay affects him. But if he gets better, he's one of the ones for the Derby right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He was a very good 2-year-old with back-to-back Grade 1 wins. And obviously, you don't have to worry about distance with him. So we'll just see. He did get the job done in the Breeders' Cup. They're never going to be able to take it away from him, Dan. When I go back and watch it, considering the trip he got and the trip that Jackie's Warrior got, I'm not so sure he ran that much better than Jackie's Warrior did. That pace was wicked, and he just sat it out. So this is a really good horse, and he's probably the horse to beat here, but I feel like this is a different situation.
Trainer Steve Asmussen has always had high hopes for the 2, Safa's Day, a debut winner at Keeneland, although he was disqualified from purse money. They then ran him in a couple of stakes races. It didn't work out. Asmussen dropped him in class, ran him a mile at Oaklawn. He rewarded the drop in class with a game victory. Let's watch Safa's Day's race. He is in between horses. He is fighting it out. He is the favorite, and he grinds it out to a win. This is a horse that I think will keep getting better with maturity and distance. For now, it might be a bit too much too soon.
Yeah, he runs fine in here, I guess. I mean, he got, in between those 2 horses he's battling with right now, and they battled for a very long way, Dan. He finally got the job done. Another effort like that obviously won't get it done against this field. I actually feel like I'm going to wait for this horse to switch to turf. He has a lot of turf pedigree.
The 3 Last Samurai just really hasn't figured out the starting gate just yet. His 2 route races, he's missed the break, and he hasn't run. His 1 sprint race, he got closer to the pace, and he ran well for Dallas Stewart. Dallas is taking a shot here. This horse is just slow on paper.
I mean, it doesn't look competitive on what he did as a 2-year-old. He's supposed to get better as time goes on, and maybe he will. Dallas Stewart has a way to get these horses to take steps forward and get pieces in races like this.
Jackie's Warrior ran a 100 buyer speed figure in the Champagne. That is pretty good stuff for a 2-year-old, and he did a lot of work on the lead. He showed an ability to carry his speed a mile. In the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, as Mike mentioned, the pace was fast. A lot of things were against him. We're going to learn a lot about him in this race, because if he gets an easy lead and folds, we're going to know he's a sprinter miler. If he gets an easy lead and wins, well, we still might be a sprinter miler, but he'll still be on the trail.
Yeah, true enough. Sometimes it's just about how the tactics play out in a race. And it feels like this could be the race, even if nothing else happens for him going forward as a route horse. This could be the race where he gets to take advantage a little bit. And that obviously was not the case when they tried to stretch him out at the Breeders' Cup. Man, he was so good, though, Dan, in his first 4 starts. It's hard not to want to give him at least one more chance.
Especially if he is loose. Santa Cruiser, the number 5, won his 3rd lifetime start. He will now make his 3rd start of 2021 for a very good trainer in Keith DeZormo. The speed has gone, though, in his 2 starts at the fairgrounds against Midnight Bourbon and Mandaloon. It's not like the waters get any lighter here.
Yeah, that's a real problem. I feel like there was a way to look at him going into the Risen Star anyway and feel like he deserved one more chance. Because in the Lecomte, if nothing else, he didn't really break in that race, and he just wound up too far away in a race that was dominated up close. So it felt like maybe he had an excuse. If he did, he sure didn't show it in the Risen Star. He didn't run a step.
Woodhouse is very, very green. He won his debut going a mile at Remington. Let's watch his seasonal debut over Muddy Going. He didn't break very well. He's going to switch to the outside, and as you can see, he's looking at the stands right now. He's going to swap leads several times. He's going to finish up on his left lead. He has a chance to win this, Mike, and you just wonder if he beat himself.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's just too green in this race to get it done, but he runs fine, and it was actually a nice step forward from his debut, which at Remington, which is a lot better than it looks, Dan. I mean, he got hung out to dry in that race, and he won anyway. I actually really like this horse. I don't know if he can. I don't think he can beat this field. I don't think he can beat both Jackie's Warrior and Essential Quality, but he's very interesting after this.
Certainly. I think he's a long-range prospect to be sure, and one that is really many leagues under the radar. Spielberg completes the field. This horse is a graded stakes winner for Bob Baffert, who we know his exploits at Oaklawn Park. Baffert has done very, very well at Oaklawn over the years. This horse won the Los Al Futurity by the slightest of margins 2 starts back. Couldn't threaten Medina Spirit last time out. I have never been a fan of this horse, but hey, when was the last time you got a price on a Baffert 3-year-old in a prep at Oaklawn?
Yeah, that's true. I guess he will be a price in here. I'm with you. I hate this horse. I don't like any of his races. I know that he won that grade 2 starts back. It's hard to be impressed when you go back and watch that win. I just don't think this horse is very good.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the grade 3 Southwest. Mike's going with Jackie's Warrior, and I certainly understand why. 180-degree different pace scenario expected. Talented horse, getting the jump on Essential Quality, and maybe he just goes gate to wire and all of a sudden ascends right to the top of the list again. I have a feeling Essential Quality is good, and I know he had the situation last time out. I think Luis Saez is going to be aggressive from the inside, not let Jackie's Warrior get too far away, and maybe the 2 big hosses hook up at the 5/16 and put on a show in the Southwest.
Be nice to see him race a little bit in here and see what happens. I'm going to take Jackie's Warrior and just hope he goes right to the front and doesn't look back.
Joel Rosario on Jackie's Warrior for Mike. 4, 1, 6, and 5. I'm going 1, 4, 6, and 2. It's the grade 3 Southwest, a very important Kentucky Derby prep. And did I mention it's worth $750,000?